Okay, welcome back to my channel. My name is Blair if you're new here, and today we're just gonna have a little honest chit chat. I apologize if there's any background noise with the cars going by, but I did want to talk a little bit about the 2026 goals, seeing how we're already like a quarter of the way through the year, because life happens. And some of these are gonna have to change that I had originally set at the beginning of the year because, you know, things just aren't going the way I want to, but that's why we reevaluate them. And then there's some that I'm doing really well on and probably will not be a problem at all. So to start off, faith-based goals that I set, just as a reminder, we had the 2 on 1 off on going to church physically. There's been some hiccups, but then there's also been times where I'm going more times in a row. So I would say I'm probably on track for that, just in terms of a balance. So that one we're good on. The coffee devotional, I'm cranking through. You guys have seen it in a number of vlogs, and I'll probably finish that one actually soon, I would imagine. And then volunteering once a month. This I've actually been staying on track of. I basically take at least one day off of work, usually towards the beginning of the month, to volunteer at the food bank at the church or for some event at the church. Like last week? But I did volunteer at the church helping make food baskets for Easter to give out. So those were my volunteer time so far. I'm gonna keep that up. I actually enjoy it. I find a good sense of like satisfaction from accomplishing something such as a goal, but also helping them to help others. So it's a good feeling, and I do want to continue to keep that one up. And then in terms of health, I wanted to get like a physical checkup with a primary care doctor. I need to find a primary care doctor that can treat anything. I go to the same doctor's office, but it seems like the doctors that I see keep leaving the practice, so I have to keep starting over, finding someone new. But now that I've hit a certain age, it's kind of important that I have somebody that's checking up on me as a whole picture health instead of just these random one-off sicknesses and stuff. So I do want to have that done. I did schedule the appointment. It's not till July though. That was the earliest they could get me in for that type of appointment, which is fine because for my job, we usually have to get biometrics around that time for health insurance to save money. So that'll kind of do a dual purpose. The other thing was to continue to work out daily, which I definitely have. The only thing I did change slightly is instead of working out every single day of the week, I've started taking Sundays off as just a straight rest day. I don't worry about hitting my step goals. I don't do a workout, but the rest of the week I'm doing really good. I re-upped the WalkFit app that I've been using. So I pretty much do that every day. I try to add like ankle weights to my wrist sometimes. And this week and a little bit of last week, I started they have some other workouts on their app. So I started doing this ab program, which I think I'm going to aim to do twice a week, and in some sort of arm workout, which we also have access to another app for my job that they pay for that gives us like a bunch of different workouts. So I did an arm workout from that with weights because I do want to get a little bit of strength training with weights in. Again, hit a certain age is kind of important to maintain bone density and stuff. So I'm trying to get that set up to where it's consistency based, and so far it's working. So we'll just keep that up. Hopefully it'll continue through the whole rest of the year. Work on 100 grams of protein daily. This has been really tricky. I tried to go the first 3 months aiming to hit 30 grams of protein every day for breakfast, and then I was going to move to lunch and so on. However, I was not really consistently hitting it. So I've started switching more to focusing on just 100 grams of protein for the day. So sometimes that means I'll have an extra snack in the afternoon that's protein based, something like that. I'm hitting it here and there, but still not consistently. I think it was better when I was doing the collagen every morning in my coffee because that, added a lot right there up front. But I also think I need to add in some sort of like protein shake or something in the afternoon just to give me that extra protein boost, because I'm just not great at eating protein, a lot of it anyway. I eat protein with every meal pretty much. It's just not a lot. So I'm trying to figure out ways to make that happen. I think if I can ideally get to a point where I'm hitting it most days of the week by the end of the year, that would be really good. And then to maintain it into the next year would be best. But I'm not going to focus it broke down by meal anymore, just looking at it from a daily goal. And then I had on here the couch to 5K. I'm not 100% sure I'm going to be doing this. I keep having issues with my plantar fasciitis, which isn't great. At least I'm working out, but I may still try to sign up to do like 1, maybe 2 5Ks through the city. Maybe with a friend, we'll see. But I don't think I'm going to worry about like the couch to 5K, like trying to get a good speed. I think just doing it and accomplishing it is good enough for me anyway. I set some very lofty goals for money this year. I really thought some of this stuff would be really achievable, but it's kind of hit me as time's gone on. Yes, I accepted this new position at work. Yes, my hourly pay has gone up, but losing those bonuses is really taking a toll to being able to do a lot of extra things with my finances, which is fine because I will take the peace and the less stress over having those bonuses any day. However, I don't know that I'm going to be able to hit these kind of goals. Plus, I had that hefty goal of trying to pay off like half of my car this year. I don't know that that's even going to happen. Because of the fact that this car has given me so many issues. I mean, I've already shelled out, I think, $1,500 almost in repairs on it. So I have not been able to pay extra, like a heavy amount towards the car payment. I mean, my car payment's like $182 and some change, and I've been paying $200 a month on it. So I'm putting a little bit extra towards it, which yes, helps, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to like dump heavy amounts to pay off $4,500 this year. Plus I didn't take into account the fact that my federal student loans are going to kick back in this year. So I'm not gonna be able to do the $500 a month that I initially had intended. I may have to stick with the $200, and then if I happen to get extra money here or there, pay it off, or maybe refocus that next year. I don't know, but I don't think that one's I'm gonna leave it on here, but I don't think that's going to happen. The other goals that I have was to replenish my long-term emergency fund with $7,000. Again, I don't know that that's gonna happen. I don't have that kind of money to throw into it. I've been trying to do like $200 a month right now, only because I keep having to pull money from it for these different expenses, like stuff for the house. Like I just had to have a plumber come yesterday to fix a clogged drain in the kitchen sink, and you know, that was $300. Right now I'm just focusing on trying to put as much as I can into savings before the student loan kicks in, because once that happens, I will not have extra money. I know I won't. So I'm trying to get as much as I can in there. I don't know that 7,000 is going to happen. I may have to reevaluate that down, maybe look at trying to hit 3,000 might be a better goal for this year, and just keep going next year. Same thing, like I had 2K in my short-term emergency fund, which I keep in like my checking savings account where I can just transfer it. The long-term stuff is all kept in a high yield savings account because I get more interest on it, and I usually don't touch that unless I absolutely have to. I think I might cut these both in half and then just kind of see where I can get by the end of the year. I also put to buy one stock on here. I may just take this off. As much as I'd love to start investing in the stock market, aside from like 401k and pension stuff from work, I'm starting to think that just may not be where my need is right now. I did finish paying off the floors repair, so that's fantastic. That was a huge one off of me. I do hate that I had to pull that $6,000 from my savings, which I mean, I was saving it specifically for that, so I didn't get hit with the interest on it, but it is fully paid off, so I don't have to worry about the floor anymore. So I think we'll probably not worry about paying off half the car. I will just continue to make as much as I can towards it. I think we're gonna eliminate the stock, and then I'm gonna cut the 2 savings goals in half, because I think these are gonna be really hard to hit, in all honesty. And in life goals, so a couple things I finished. One I added part way through. In the beginning with my job, it was very slow. We had a lot of downtime, so they just kept telling us to do like development time, find some videos, training stuff to do. But I started doing some like LinkedIn trainings to relearn how to use Final Cut, and then some iPhone shooting tips, which you may have noticed at some point things got a little more creative. So I finished all of that training. I don't know how it's going to work with the one get together every quarter. I may have to change this instead of being quarterly because I haven't done one. just down to like, you know, 2, 3 get-togethers, something like that. And I'm trying to focus on it not being necessarily a dinner party, but just having people around and having a nice meal. That's going to be the aim of it. I haven't started using Final Cut. I really need to start using it now that I've gone through the training and that stuff's fresh in my mind. But I also know I need to get a new external hard drive to do that space-wise. So yeah, we're gonna see. I might try to use the hard drive I have. I've been having some issues with my computer, so that might be difficult. But I would like to get to where I'm doing at least 1 video a month in Final Cut, just to keep it going, and then eventually build that up to using it all the time again. And then the last thing is the 10 books. So I've actually already read through, I think 5 of them. I've read through my May book basically. So, and I kind of want to start reading the next book, but I'm also like, do I just slow down and take a little bit of a break from reading? Or do I want to save the books that I have? We'll see. But I've already read half of what I wanted to. If I do decide to start reading early, I might plan on getting another book or 2 to fill in towards the end. We'll see. That's kind of where I stand right now with my goals that we set for 2026 for me for the year. Again, I'm kind of on track with most of them. It's just the money ones that I had to like step back and go, whoa, I'm gonna have to change these up. There's no way I'm gonna accomplish these. No fault of anybody's, it's just life. And I mean, I'm sure everybody else knows, everybody else is feeling it, but things are going up and it's costing more and more every time I turn around. So there's just less and less extra to set aside to cover those expenses and savings that I wanted to do. I will do another one of these probably in June, July, end of June, beginning of July, just to check in at the 6-month mark. One, it keeps me on top of being aware of where I'm at on my goals. And then 2, I'm held accountable by you guys, but I don't think it's necessary to do like a monthly check-in. I think the once a quarter is good. So if you enjoy it, if you have questions, or maybe you don't really enjoy watching this, let me know, please. I won't make them. I'll just keep it to myself. But I do hope everybody has a blessed day.